Alright, sukulalela Dr Hlophe. Yazi esikhathini esiningi I think sometimes media somehow I think sometimes they end up not knowing what to do and not knowing what to talk about, and then they just call any person just to push, I don't know whether to say content or anything, which I do understand. Sometimes it's dry, nothing is happening. You would actually see on the news sometimes it's dry. Now Dr Hlophe is going to talk here, but obviously we all know about his stand in terms of situation yakhe, judge, impeachment, everything, right? But I want us to listen to him when he speaks about Jacob Zuma, and I want us to put some thoughts, on what he actually says, and not on what he says per se, but I want us to think maybe scenarios, if perhaps they were possible, right? And then let's get into it. We're going to take a listen to him, and then I will pause there and there.
The ANC and the DA, because both the ANC and the DA were behind my impeachment. So when the new kid in the block in the form of MK Party came into existence, it was the obvious party to join. But in addition to that, the philosophy of the MK Party, the people's mandate, including the constitution, these are things that are close to my heart. In other words, the policies, the overall policies of the MK Party are not strange to me. I can live with them, I can relate to them, so it was the obvious thing to do. Now, the second question is my role as a leader of the MK Party. I have no doubt that had President Zuma been allowed to be in Parliament, he would have led the party. That was his wish. Unfortunately, the judiciary of South Africa did not allow that to happen, and he asked me to lead the party, and I'm grateful to President Zuma for having confidence in me. Here in the National Assembly, I am the leader of the party and the official and the leader of the opposition party, because we're now an official opposition party in the country. But country-wise in the party, I'm the deputy president, the deputy to the president.
I don't want to go too much.
Now, I want us to think about Zuma. If Zuma was in Parliament, what do you think the mood was going to be, guys? Let's just think of it. Let's just say there was nothing that was stopping him, and then he goes to Parliament, right? How do you think the Parliament would be, right? The way I am thinking about it, and the way I have seen Zuma and known Zuma, one, I don't think he was going to be dramatic. That is the first thing. Because I have noticed that Zuma is a gentleman, When he fights behind the scenes. He fights where you won't see him, In public, he will say things, but he's not fighting as in like you see that he's fighting. He's a gentleman. So I think that if he was in Parliament, sitting there and everything, I don't think he would be dramatic and everything, point of order, whatever, because obviously, number one, as I said, he's a gentleman. So I don't think he likes to be dramatic and everything like that, okay? And when it comes to South African politics, I think he was going to play, I know guys that you've got your own issues with him, but I think he was going to play a very good role. Not good role as in like, but he was going to be instrumental, when it comes to South African politics, especially when it comes to history. Because what I've noticed with Zuma is that anytime he gets an opportunity, he uses that opportunity to tell us about the history that sometimes we forget. And it seems like he's the only one who is interested in telling us about the history of South Africa. And I know you will say to me, but we know the history, what. But guys, some of the history we don't know, okay? For example, for me, I didn't actually know. I knew about the negotiations, there was a documentary talking about it. But I think a lot of people criticized the ANC at the time not at a time, but afterwards, after the negotiations, we criticized it, and we said they sold out and everything like that. But we forget that the situation then was never the same as now. The situation was hectic. It was them or us. So they had to take some drastic decisions. Just like I always say also, when it comes to becoming a president, if you are a president, one thing you must know is that you are not going to do things the way you like. Always you are going to be thinking about the people. If there is a decision you need to make. Okay. Anyway, but we all know, guys, that Ramaphosa, when it comes to decision, it takes time, eh? It takes time. So sometimes as a leader, for me, I believe that sometimes you need to take a stand, and say, you know what, I'm taking this decision. Okay? I'm taking this decision. If there's consequences that are going to be negative, well, there's nothing I can do. I'm a leader. I have to take it. Okay? And what I've noticed about Ramaphosa, even though he likes to consult, I think sometimes he consults, I'm sorry guys, but too much. Maybe it's because of the way his style of leadership is like that. But sometimes, man, he seems like he's not in the action. Then he comes later, just like what is happening with this thing of the poisoning, whatever, food and everything. Now I told people, because they were saying, where is Ramaphosa? Hey, what? Why is he quiet? Guys, if you are a president, you know that you've got ministers and the mayors and everything. Sometimes you rely on them, because they are on the ground. As a president, you can't always be on the ground. Obviously, we all know that. Especially Ramaphosa, I don't think he's been liked like that. I've seen other presidents, but they are not on the ground. I've seen other presidents like South Korea, whatever. They go like to school, but they also choose where to go. And they choose places where they know that they will be okay. You don't just rock up anyhow as a president. They will take you out. You won't believe. Ask Trump. It's so guys, it's very important that sometimes, even though we want to criticize, we need to understand. So the thing is, I think Zuma was going to be good in parliament, but I think he was going to sit there and just enjoy the drama, and stuff like that, and advise the guys, the MK party and stuff like that. But anyway, let's continue.
Into your impeachment, because that's done and it's over. But part of the reasoning or the decision to impeach you was because of your alleged remarks regarding President Zuma. So given the decision for you to have joined MK and those remarks were made regarding former President Jacob Zuma, did you actually say that? Did you persuade or try and persuade judges to favor and rule in favor of the former president?
Far from it. I never tried to persuade the judges to try and rule in favor of President Zuma. My evidence is very clear in that regard. All I did was to make a remark, and I said Nina, meaning we trust the process of judging. However, it's very, very clear to me that there was a determination of a political nature to get rid of me, to have me impeached and removed from the bench. If you look at,
you see, whether you are a doctor, you are a lawyer, you are especially a judge, or you are in a bench or whatever, whether you are a lawyer, at least you are free. Sometimes you can say whatever. You've heard mpofu sometimes. But if you are a doctor, a judge, even a politician, if for example, all these professional careers, you don't just say things, And I know that he was just talking, like you are sitting there, you are relaxed, and then you are talking to your friends there, and then you are relaxed, there is no work, and then you are having a conversation, and you are like, yo guys, when it comes to this thing of judge, to this thing of judiciary, guys, I want you to listen to me the way I am talking, right? guys, uyazini this thing of judicial system, guys, you know, well, I know that maybe he didn't continue and say system bafethu uthi judiciary will be strong, judiciary, you know, you will make it whatever, you know. The statement was as he says ukuthi you know, system bafethu. Trust me, guys, if you say a blank statement, you are not explaining. Trust me, every person can take that statement and make it the way they want to make it. And even they can use it to get rid of you. They can use it to destroy your life. They can use it to destroy your image because of just one sentence, which you didn't mean to hurt any person, but you just said it. You know, just like you've seen Mama Lima going to courts just for something small, just for saying 1, 2, 3. Then boom, they take him to court, because people, when they can't get to you, or they can't get anything on you, usually they go for something that they can use against you, even if it's small. You know, when you look at this thing, Judge Hlophe, you are like, ah, my guy, you know. They got you. Anything, any leverage you are going to give them, they will use you. They will use it to destroy you. They will look and not find anything, but there is that thing that you will make you make a small mistake. You think it's a mistake, but when they explain it there in court, sometimes it will look and seem as if like it was you were trying to do some corruption thing. You know, so I really don't know. So his story about being impeached, I think in Cape Town, well, we all know, guys, in the Western Cape, we all know what's going on there. So there is no need for us to, you know, talk about a lot in terms of that. We all know what they want. We all know what they are looking for. We all know who they want there. We all know all these things. It's just politics. Every politician, every party that is in charge, guys, they want their people, you know, they want their people there. In any position that is important, they want their people, because obviously it will protect them, one. Number two, if there is any person that they like outside, or they like maybe somewhere from who is not from their party, maybe they just like, because maybe they are in ally in terms of politics and everything, they might use actually that opportunity to protect them, you know. So it's just politics, and if you are going to take it emotional and you are going to fight and do whatever, you will have a problem. I think Mr. Hlophe knew that this was just a play. This was just something that they used just to get rid of me. That is why he ended up saying, nah, it's fine, it's okay. You know, even with that JSC thing, you know, you can see that, you know. Anyway, guys, I don't know what do you think about these two things. One, it's the Zuma thing, which Zuma, if he was in parliament, how the parliament was going to be. Two, in terms of if you are a professional, whether a lawyer, whatever, what do you think about this thing of just speaking, you know, anyhow? I know, guys, that we've got freedom of speech, you can say things, but there are people who are there to try and to destroy you, you know. There are people who are there who are waiting for you to make a mistake, you know. So what do you think also about that? Thank you, guys, for watching. Thank you for listening. I have been out for a bit. I was not well, but I'm back now. And hope you are all good, guys. Please subscribe, like, and share, and do the do's. Have a good day. Sharp, sharp, perfect.